guys, welcome to Clockwork down to Noodles for another, what is it? Journey reading of my blog. Yes, I'm so sorry, I got so confused then. Welcome to another reading of my blog. The journey begins. Today we are gonna go to 14th of July, Life in a Suitcase. I remember writing this one. At this point, we really are in the rundown to moving to Japan, all the things I want to do. I do want to sneak a new blog in at some point. So I realized I never went into the interview. And I want to do that. I do actually want to do a blog where I talk about my interview experience. I realized I might have left it out because I was told not to essentially say anything until I was on the jet program in Japan. So now I'm over here. I feel confident to go through what I went through and all that things. And like all the questions I got. So I'm going to... Because I never wrote one, I might just do it off the bat and wing it. And we'll see where we go. So that might be the next one I do. Just so you guys have an idea. So if you are applying, you might have at least an idea of what the questions I had. Everybody is different, obviously. But it can be sometimes interesting to think about past questions and things. Because I don't know what was asked this year. I think most of the results have gone out now. So hopefully you're waiting. And if you are in the process of waiting, it's not the longest wait in the world. And honestly, if you are a shortlister, don't let it get to you. You are coming. You will just have to wait. But you are definitely probably coming. Last year on our server, only 3 people ended up not coming. And that's like barely anybody. And most of the time it's because they've shot the places and stuff. And there's too many. And it's very rare. If you are sitting here watching this and you're sat with a shortlister, or if you're sat as an alternate, the likelihood is you are definitely coming. You're obviously not going to get your top picks, but you might be very lucky and it can work out for you. So don't be disheartened by the fact that you're an alternate. Honest to God, it's most likely going to happen. Something really drastic has to happen for you not to get a place. And there's always people who just like knock themselves out and go, actually, yeah, I'm not going, or I don't want to go. There's always reasons why people say, actually, change of heart, not doing it. So let's go. T minus 20 days to go until my new chapter begins. At this point, things are progressing slowly in my brain. Excitement and anxiety, dancing around with a strange kind of calmness. With pre-departure orientation done, what is now left is the mammoth task of packing, saying goodbye, and ensuring I do not forget anything vital. Packing is typically a task I leave until the last minute. Usually I take pride in considering myself a master of suitcase packing. My Tetris skills are exceptional, and years of attending conventions in elaborate cosplays have prepared me for this task. Can anyone say a suitcase full of Morigash? Now, Morigash, for some clarification, is from Paragon, a game that's no longer anything, but it's perhaps my most daring cosplay, as people would say. It went on stage once, so I'm never going to do it again. It fell apart, it's just really irritating. I need to fix it because she is stunning. But if I do it again, I'm not doing the body paint. I refuse. The body paint took too long and it was just uncomfortable. But it was a cosplay that looks amazing and it needs love at some point. I'll go back maybe one day. But it was a lot of teeth. It was a lot of bones. It's a lot of weird shapes. And yeah, I had to pack that one. That is one costume that will forever remain a stressful packing nightmare. Tell me about it. It had to go up in bits. The handbook tips for packing can be summarized as packing lightly and shipping bulkier items later. Don't forget to leave any room for gifts you plan to bring with you, or be sure to have your carry-on bag packed and ready for Tokyo orientation. Suits and spare clothing primarily. I also noted at the PDO, or pre-departure orientation, that depending on your placement, you may need more clothes in this bag. Due to my placement being down south, there was a possibility my checked bag would take as long as 8 days to reach Saga. When you arrive, your checked bag will be sent ahead, usually to your BOE or your school, or behind in my case. Now, in my case, that suitcase was waiting for me at the BOE. So for 3 days. So it took 3 days to arrive in Saga. It was there waiting for me. As soon as I landed in Saga, we did a little bit at the BOE. They then it was at my BOE, so it was at Kensho. We call it Kensho. It was at Kensho waiting for me. So my suitcase was already there. But obviously, in some weird cases, if you're on an island, that is going to be a case where you need more clothes with you. Because they're going to have to put that across on a ferry. And there's a lot of faff going on. But 3 days just to get to Saga, not bad. Especially from, Tokyo to Kyushu. Not too bad. With all this in mind and checking the airline's allowances, I have decided to take my big 32-inch bag for checked bag and my big rucksack for the cabin. My laptop is my personal item for carry-on. So where does one begin? With a big list. I will say that I think after this I had a bit of a meltdown and I ended up getting another suitcase. So I don't think I went with what this was here. I think I went with a really big one, a 32-inch one, but I also had to get a bigger bag because I decided that the rucksack just wasn't quite cutting it. I got two in the end. I was also lucky that Jet managed to score me a good deal. Most of the time people get to bring one suitcase. I was allowed two big suitcases, the bag, and my carry-on, which is my laptop. So I was allowed to bring quite a bit. Every time I sit back thinking about, oh, this is the one I want to take. This is the one I want to take. Oh, I should take this one. Another item will pop into my mind. What helps is breaking it into sections. What do I need for my job? What am I bringing for my days off? What do I want to do for comfort? With all these things in mind, it allowed me to work out the things that I needed, the things that were important, what was prioritizing. You will need some indoor shoes for your schools. You will start quite quickly, so you should probably get some comfy shoes already. You can borrow the school shoes, like spare slippers, but buy yourself a nice set of indoor shoes, black ones preferably, something nice and cozy because you're going to be spending a lot of time in them. I advise taking it slow and doing little bits at a time. I will most likely be packing and repacking over and over again until I'm certain I have everything. There is also the bonus of buying things once you settle down. The internet is a great place. Don't rely on it though, because as I found out, I needed a debit card and the card situation was a nightmare. So do try to have most of the things with you. But you can buy things if you're being placed in a city. Everything you need is around. If you are in a more rural location, that's where you need to plan. But yeah, the internet is full of anything, and if anything ever gets missed, it's always there. It's a comfort to the ever-shortening time that was remaining. So yeah, that is the next vlog. That was a fun one. That I remember that. I remember that so badly as well, because there was like so many times where I thought I packed properly, then I got the weight limit, and I had a broken set of scales which were telling me I was over. Every case I was packing was over, and I was like, I'm not bringing anything. What am I doing? And then I got a new set of scales. Get yourself a set of scales. Oh God, it helps. I wasn't, and I could put everything back in again. But I was so stressed. I remember having to, because I sold my car, I physically had to ask my dad, or I asked someone to take me to Argos to get another suitcase, and they didn't have it, and they were like, no, you gotta wait, you gotta pre-order it. So they was faffing around and like really hoping that I'd eventually get like something. Actually, did I have a car? I think I had the car up until about 2 days before leaving. I had already agreed to sell it. They'd given me the cash. I just had an agreed drop-off point, and they were like, yeah, just drop it off, it's chill. So it was something like that. But you've got big things to think about, like cars and stuff, selling things off, making sure that all your outgoings, if you are going to be closing your accounts, you close them. I've got my account still for the UK, and I do forget to check, and I go in and it's in the minuses. I'm like, oh, whoopsie daisy, because I forget that stuff. I pay for my cat still. So my cat is with my family, so there's still commitments I have, and I'm actually paying off my loan, which has like got £300 left. It's barely anything, but it's just something that I could just pay off with my money that I do have in my savings. I could do that, but I don't. But I could. But it's all little things. Also think about things like SIM cards and things. There's a lot to consider. I have a phone that has dual SIM, but even with me knocking out the dual SIM, I can't access voicemails over here at all. So, it's a bit of a weird one. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you're having fun and learning things about things that you may even need if you're coming to Japan. Some things that you may even not even consider. So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.